Welcome to Glowing Success. My name is Heidi and I am your host. This podcast is for beauty entrepreneurs. Join me weekly as we dive into the beauty industry's ins and outs, from business strategies, top-selling services, and taboo topics. I will be interviewing industry leaders with empowering stories and game-changing insights. Let's illuminate your path to success together. Let's jump into this next episode. Welcome back to Glowing Success. Today's episode is all about the visibility gap no one talks about. So, have you ever scrolled through someone's page and thought, I still don't really know who they are. I don't know who this person is. I'm not really sure who they are. So yesterday during a coaching session, I had one of these moments where I was like auditing this person's social media and everything looked great on the surface. So like they had clean videos, clean photos, her services were listed in the bio. Overall, a pretty clean looking page. But something was missing, of course. She wasn't anywhere in her social media at all. And that's what we're going to dive in today. So I told her, I don't feel like you are in your marketing. I don't feel you anywhere. I feel like these are really beautiful photos and videos of your products that you use, even some of the services. There was a few service videos in there, but she was missing, you know what I mean? And we are in such a high touch service. I'm talking to people, I'm touching people all day. So we need to be in our marketing because of that, okay? The one thing I will say is she is not alone. I see this a lot. I see a lot of people missing their name specifically in their bio, but a lot of service providers, for some reason, tend to hide behind their aesthetics of their business, right? So like the fancy photos and their branding and things like that. And hoping these things will speak for them. Sometimes it does, don't get me wrong, to a point, but your work isn't what builds that relationship with that client. You are. So in the service industry, people aren't necessarily buying your service. So they're not necessarily buying a facial or lashes or brows or treatments. They're actually buying that trust that they build with you. And that trust has to grow from you showing up in your marketing, you being, on camera, or you just being present, okay? Because that trust can't grow without you. It can't grow in silence, essentially, right? So that trust grows when they see your face, they hear your voice, they hear your why, they resonate with you, okay? So you want your client or somebody that's coming to your social media page to think, okay, I can sit in the room with that person for an hour. I could talk to them. I could book with them. That's what they're kind of leading into, right? We forget that the client relationship starts long before the appointment. It literally starts maybe in your feed, or it starts at that first handshake. Whatever you get to do in your marketing, it starts at that first interaction. So this is what I urged my client to do yesterday. Add a photo as her profile photo. So I see this a lot. This is really common. People will have their logo as their profile picture. And your logo is great. And I'm sure you spent a lot of time on it. And I'm sure you even spent a lot of money on it. But people need to connect to you as the service provider. So I highly suggest put your face as your profile photo on social media. The second thing I suggested for her was record a simple video introducing herself. So simple is the key word there. I don't want it to be long. I just want you to say, hi, my name is this, I own this, I'm in this city and state, and these are the general services I offer. Something along the lines. Make it yours, of course. Put your personality in there, but I want it to be quicker. I want it to be shorter and simple. And the last thing I suggested her to make, and I suggest you to do this as well, is put your name in your bio, okay? Put your name in the nameplate, or put your name in your bio somewhere. People need to connect to you as the person, not just this company, not just this company name, not just this company logo. They want to connect with you. I promise you, when I look for companies and I'm looking for a new service provider and I'm not getting a referral from somebody else, I am looking for that connection to that person first and foremost. And then I'm going to see their portfolio. Then I'm going to see their work. But that first thing I'm looking for is, who are they, right? But those 3 tiny steps, I think they're pretty tiny. They are actually going to instantly shift from being just another thing we scroll past, right? Just another business, to being like a real human, and your clients feel connected to that and giving off energy. You know what I'm saying? So, but she did say something yesterday that I feel like I hear often. So I want to tell you guys, she said, but it feels uncomfortable. I'm a little shy, or something along those lines. And honestly, here's the truth. Like, being the face of your business is going to be uncomfortable, especially if you're shy, until it isn't. Okay. So the more you do it, the more, you show up on camera, the more you put your voice somewhere, the more you do things that do feel uncomfortable to you, the easier it will become. I promise you. It's vital for your business, though, for you to show up and be that person, be the brand, be the voice. You know what I mean? So this is also where consistency comes into play. So a lot of what we talked about yesterday was connection and consistency, okay? So you're not just like posting every day, but you're showing up as you consistently. So yes, I want you to post as often as you can, or as whatever your little schedule is, because everybody's got a different one. But it's less about the posting every day, and it's more about the connection. It's more about you showing up, right? So, when people start recognizing your voice and your face and your energy, your marketing is actually going to become more like magnetic. It's going to attract those people in, because now they're seeing like who you are, what you're about, and so forth, right? So your presence actually becomes your brand, okay? And I promise you, clients will start booking because they feel like they already know you. They feel like they're already connected to you. They feel like they're already included in whatever you are offering, okay? So if you've been hiding behind your business, this is your sign. This episode is totally your sign. Let people meet the human behind the service. Let people meet you. Let them see your passion. Let them hear you of why you started the business. Let them hear your passion behind why you love doing those services that you love to do, right? Because your presence, that's what people will remember. That's what people will resonate with. And that's what builds trust. So that building of that connection and trust is huge for people to make that decision to book with you. And honestly, this is what brings people back again and again. So if you even have a first-time client that hasn't come back yet, think about it. Was that connection there? Were you maybe not as asking as many open-ended questions as you could to get to know them, where there's all sorts of things we need to think about, but that connection needs to be there. Now, if this is actually hitting home for you and you do want some more support in building a presence that attracts your clients in the door, and not only clients, your ideal clients, your favorite clients, I want you to send me a message. So follow me on social media and send me a message. That's the quickest way to get a hold of me. If you have not followed me on Instagram or TikTok yet, I will leave the links down in the show notes. All you have to do is click away, follow me, message me, and I'm here to help you show up with confidence and build that business that your talent deserves, okay? You need to be out there. You need to be showing your face. And sometimes it does take a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of, hey, this is how I do it. I have a lot of tips and tricks of how to show up online, how to make really good videos, and all the things. So send me a message. And of course, thank you for listening, and see you next week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I'd love for you to leave a review. It really helps more people find the show. And if you know someone who'd also enjoy it, share it with them or tag me on Instagram so I can thank you. New episodes come out every week, so be sure to subscribe so you never miss one. See you next time.